Hey guys, back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at the recently launched Oppo Find X8 Ultra. I was a big fan of Oppo's Find X8 Pro that released a couple of months ago because I was really impressed with its cameras, and the Ultra only builds on that, although with a little bit of bad news. First off though, this Oppo AI plastered all over. My first thought was okay, AI, but because this is a Chinese version of the phone, I actually can't use a lot of their AI tools. What was actually a little bit of refreshing, and I know that most of you are here for the cameras, on the Find X8 Ultra, and rest assured that I will talk about them soon. But first, let me just have a look at the design. It has ditched the two-tone vegan leather that the Find X7 Ultra had last year, but now instead they've rounded the sides of this phone. They've got a really nice matte finish on the back of this, and I'm a huge fan. The display is also really nice. It's now flat and it's 6.8 inches and it's 120 Hz. And it has a peak brightness of 2500 nits, and like most OLED screens, this is just great to watch. For content, media, it is fantastic because the colors just pop, and they've got even rid of the curved edges. I'm a big fan of this, and also another upgrade which I'm a big fan of is that they have finally upgraded the optical fingerprint reader from last year's phone, and now this is ultrasonic and works really well. It's also IP68 and 69 rated, so you're covered if you're ever in some sort of situation where your phone is getting sprayed with hot jets of water. The X8 Ultra is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite chip, as the same that powers the S25 Ultra and a lot of other flagships from 2025. So when it comes to benchmarks, it's pretty much hitting the numbers that you would be expecting from a Snapdragon 8 Elite chip, so anything that you throw at it, it can mostly handle with ease. But besides the camera, what are my favorite parts of this phone is that it is packed with a 6100 mAh silicone carbon battery, which is ridiculous. In a couple of days where it was tested, there wasn't a day where it got to less than 30% unless it is being really pushed. And you can see here on the first day of usage from the screenshot, it went over a day without charging, and it only got to about 4%. So far, redesign and hardware, I absolutely love this phone, but there is some bad news if you're looking to pick up this X8 Ultra. It's not coming outside of China. When they asked Oppo if it's going to come outside of China anytime soon, the answer wasn't massively positive, and they said they are focusing just on releasing this in China. So I wouldn't hold my breath for a global release of this. It's a pity, it's a shame, but let me just focus on another disappointment here though, as well, because there is something missing from the X8 Ultra, and that is the alert slider. So Oppo instead have decided to replace that alert slider with something very unique and never seen before. Yeah, right. Shortcut button. Now this is almost identical to Apple's action button. You can set a press of the button to do a few different actions like a mute switch, turn on the flashlight, and a few other things. The one thing you can't do though is set the button to open any app that you want, so you're stuck with that they offer you by default. You can also use it to open the camera as well, which is odd because there is also another inspired button on this phone for that. It's a quick roll. Double tap will open the camera, which is nice, and it's a touch button. Lets you zoom in and out when taking photos, and actually the zooming isn't too bad. It's easy to land where you want, but you can only do this in landscape mode and not in portrait, and then a single press of this will let you take your photos, but other than that you can't change between modes with it. Also, you can't change any other camera settings, even in Pro, so it's just a little disappointing. What isn't disappointing though are those cameras. These are really impressive. There are 4 of them. A 50 megapixel ultra wide, a 3 and 6 times 50 megapixel optical telephoto, and the main standard 50 megapixel one is 1-inch sensor, which I love. Sensor on the main camera is 69% bigger than the S25 Ultra and 63% larger than the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So taking photos, especially in low light, you can also really tell the difference. You can also take JPEG Max photos in the master mode, which means you can take full advantage of the 1-inch 50 megapixel sensor. First off, let me start by saying that I love that 6x optical. It's really nice, and I may be a little bit obsessed with this because the details that you can get from the photos are some of the best. The photos are slightly over-sharpened and just a little bit too much saturation, but I can look past that. I have taken so many 6x optical photos on this because I just love what you can get from this, especially because that 6x lens also gives you the macro ability here, and these have a grey detail. I think these look really good, and the over-sharpening that happens on the regular 6x optical here when you're going into macro mode, well, I won't talk so much about the macro because I think it's great, but the video would be longer. So you can just enjoy some of the photos that we're taking here. We then look at the main camera with that 1-inch sensor, and wow, the details are accurate, the dynamic range is fantastic, and these photos, they look so real to life. To my eye, there isn't any oversaturation on this, and it does a really good job, and maybe this might just be one of my favorite cameras I've used on a phone this year. I also want to say that AI zoom after 30 times is actually not too bad either. A lot of the times on phones this looks a little bit rubbish, but actually if you're focusing on something like a building, this does a really good job of filling the blanks and creating details that are actually usable. The 50 megapixel ultra wide does have a little bit of oversaturation like the optical lenses, but still this is really impressive with the details it captures, and I can't get enough of it. I also want to touch on the video of the Find X8 Ultra as well, because for me the iPhone is the best video we can get on any phone, but Oppo have done a really good job here because this could potentially match the iPhone and be the best video on any Android. You can record at 4K 60, however there is going to be an update coming where you can record 4K 120, which matches the iPhone 16 Pro Max, and the stabilization in this video might just be the best I've seen on any Android. It's almost gimbal-like. It's that smooth. Now switching between lenses when you film is never that smooth, but Oppo again have done a good job here, because this might be one of the smoothest switching of lenses experiences that I've had recently. Although there is a slight bit of color shifting when switching between these lenses, but the transition is actually quite nice. And then we just look at the details in the video, and here I give you side by side with the iPhone 16 Pro Max in video, and you can tell me in the comments which one you prefer, but Oppo has done such an excellent job here. I'm still really impressed with how it handles the daylight situations. Then I switch over to the nighttime video, and it does a really good job here. The shadows are great, there isn't a lot of noise in those darker areas, and this might just be my go-to for video on Android at the moment. You might guess that already I love this phone for the cameras. Thing is that most probably this is not going to be available in Europe. In fact, it's not going to be available anywhere outside of China for the moment, which is a shame, because to get your hands on one of these you have to import it, and sometimes that's just not worth the effort. I have to give credit here to Oppo and in turn to Xiaomi as well, because what I love about the Chinese brands is they keep pushing what is possible, and I just hope that in turn this will be noticed by Google, and even Apple should take note and stop playing it safe when it comes to their flagship releases. Let me know your thoughts though on the Oppo Find X8 Ultra. I'm curious what you think of the photos and the video in the comments below. That's it for today, guys. Hope you liked the video, and thanks for watching till the end. Make sure you subscribe because it comes at no cost to you, but really helps my channel. Also like, share, and feel free to comment. And until the next one, take good care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya.